Assalamualaikum and hi all. Today we are going to discuss about the character and the plot in Surah story. Before we start, we are going to introduce ourselves again. Hi again, my name is Fathiah binti Zuhaizat and my magic number is 34602. Here are my group members. They will introduce themselves as well. Let's start with Bibi Marliyana first.
Hi, my name is Bibi Marliyana binti Mahsin and my match number is J46223.
Hi, my name is Aiman and Ramli and my magic number is J46200.
Hi, my name is Muhamad Iqmar Zamri. My number is J46198.
Thank you all. Character was defined as your moral self, the ground at a moral life and referred to as a moral structure, which is something you build through rituals, behavior, while thought is the way and articulates and organized as a chain of events in a narrative. There are many characters in Sora's story, but I really like Angela's daughter. All the four of Angela's daughter really understand their mother and Soraya's situation. Aside from being revealed, there comes their mother by singing a song and gave Angela the most comforting hug ever. I can relate this to my experience. Aside from being engaged, always thankful. My siblings never blame my parents for excelling their sister from all angles, especially help. So until today, I'm really grateful to have them as siblings. So what kind of character and experience you want to share with us, Bibi Marliyana?
Okay, thank you, Fathiah. So based on the stories of Soraya, I've decided to choose the character of Angela, which we know that she is the main character in this story. Angela, who is a mother to Soraya, sacrifices herself for the sake of her daughter and all her children. She also shows how hard she tried to save her daughter in the story, even though there are so many obstacles and challenges they have been through. Moreover, Angela also can be described as a strong woman of her family. She carried within the power to endure pain and the courage to sacrifice for her children. What can I say about the character of Angela? Her love to her daughter and children is something that we cannot explain. It is made of deep devotion and of sacrifices and pain. It is endless and unselfish and enduring, come what may. A mother denial, honor, sacrifice teaches love best of all to us. So what can I relate the character of Angela to my life as a mother? To my children now is being a mom means I have two little people who walk around with my heart and soul. A mother knows what's the best for the family and sacrifices herself for their needs. I, as a mother, also learning every little detail about my children, notices even the slightest of change, just like the character of Angela in this story. And last but not least, I always know what my child's gone through, even if I didn't see it myself. That's all from me. What about you, Iqmar?
Thank you, Bibi Marliyana. The character that I choose is Bruce. The reason why I choose Bruce is because he always be a good husband and always make sure that his wife can trust him. From the story, we can see Bruce always there for his kids and caring for them. We can see from the story that Bruce is trying everything to save his baby, especially Soraya. From the story, I was able to relate Bruce's character to my own experience. The character shown by Bruce bears a resemblance to my father. The caring and responsible nature to me and my family is very much appreciated until now. All the tiredness shown to me will never be forgotten. So how about you, Hanani?
Thank you, Iqmar. So the character that I have chosen is Soraya. She is a daughter to Angela and Bruce. The reason I choose Soraya because she is more than a child. She becomes their friend and provides the emotional support that parents often need as they start to grow older. She ensures they have everything that makes their life better and happier. Other than that, she has been diagnosed a disease so that she has to receive a full attention and care from her parents. The thing is that I can relate the stories read to me as a daughter is we need to show your parents that you love and respect them. There is no way to do this. Each family is different, but in general, this means that you should listen to your parents and be responsible and help out around the house. and be open, honest, and kind. Whether you're trying to improve your relationship with your parents or hoping to make up for not being on your best behavior, being respectful is the best way to be a good daughter and show your parents how much they mean to you. That's all from me.
So basically, characters serve as the driving force in a story. The characters that auto-correct will push the plot forward. Reader can experience the world that auto-correct by the characters and the way the characters view their environment. So that's all for our story. Now let's moving on to the next story, which is the Devoted Friends. Let me share the story first. Iqmar, could you please read the story?
Okay, Fathiah. Once upon a time, there was an honest little fellow named Hans. Little Hans had a great many friends, but the most devoted friend of all was Big Hood the miller. The friends should have everything in common, the miller used to say, and Little Hans nodded and smiled. Sometimes, indeed, the neighbors thought it strange that the rich miller never gave Little Hans anything in return. But Hans never troubled his head about these things, and nothing gave him greater pleasure than to listen to all the wonderful things the miller used to say about the unselfishness of true friendship. So Little Hans walked away in his garden. During the spring, the summer, and the autumn, he was very happy. But when the winter came, he was extremely lonely as the miller never came to see him then. There is no good in my going to see Little Hen as long as the snow lasts, for when people are in trouble, they should be left alone and not be bothered by visitors. That at least is my idea about friendship. I'm sure am I right, so I should wait till the spring comes, and then I should pay him a visit, and he will be able to give me a large basket of green roses, and that will make him so happy. You are certainly very thoughtful about others. Very thoughtful indeed. It is quite a treat to hear you talk about friendship. I'm sure the clergyman himself could not say such beautiful things as you do. Though the does live in a three-story house and wear a gold ring on his little finger. But could we use your as little hands up here? If poor hand is in trouble, I will give him half my porridge and show him my white rabbits. What a silly boy you are! I don't know why. I don't know what is the use of sending you to school. You seem not to learn anything. Why? If little hands come up here and saw our warm tire and our good supper, and our great cask of red wine, he might get envious, and envy is most terrible thing, and we will spoil anybody's nature. I certainly will not allow Ham's nature to be spoiled. I am his best friend. I will always watch over him and see that he is not led into any temptations. How well you talk. Lots of people age well, but very few people talk well, which show that talking is much the more difficult thing of the two and much the finer thing also.
Bibi
So,
Marliyana.
As soon as the winter was over and the primroses began to open their pale yellow stars, the miller said to his wife that he would go down and see Little Hans. Why, what a good heart you have, cried his wife. You are always thinking of others, and mind you take the big basket with you for the flowers. Good morning, Little Hans, said the miller. Good morning, said Hans. And how have you been all the winter, said the miller. Well, really, cried Hans. It is very good of you to ask, very good indeed. I am afraid I had rather a hard time of it, but now the spring has gone, and I am quite happy, and all my flowers are doing well. We often talk to you during the winter, Hans, said the miller, and wondered how you were getting on. That was kind of you, said Hans. I was half afraid of you had forgotten me. Hans, I was afraid of you. I am surprised at you, said Amelia. Friendship never forgets. That is the wonderful thing about it. But I am afraid you don't understand the poetry of life. How lovely your prime roses are looking. Bye-bye, by-the-by. They are certainly very lovely, said Hans, and it is the most lucky thing for me that I have so many. I am going to bring them into the market and sell them to the burgomaster's daughter and buy back my wheelbarrow with the money. Buy back your wheelbarrow? You don't mean to sell? To You don't mean to say you have sold it? What a very stupid thing to do. Well, the fact is, hence, that I was obligated to. You see, the winter was a very bad time for me, and I really had no money at all to buy bread with. So I first sold the silver buttons of my Sunday coat, and I sold my silver chain, and then I sold my big pipe, and at last I sold my wheelbarrow. But I am going to buy them back all again now. Hence, I will give you my wheelbarrow. It is not in very good repair. Indeed, one side is gone, and there is something wrong with the wheel spoke. But in spite of that, I will give it to you. I know it's very generous of me, and a great many people would think me extremely foolish for parting with it. But I am not like the rest of the world. I think that generosity is the essence of friendship. And besides, I've got a new wheelbarrow for myself. Yes, you may set your mind at ease. I will give you my wheelbarrow. Well, really, that's generous of you. I can easily put it in repair as I have a plank of wood in the house. I have given you my wheelbarrow and now you are going to give me your plank. Of course, the wheelbarrow is worth far more than the plank, but my true friendship never notices things like that. Pray get it at once, and I will set to work at my barn this very day. Certainly, it is not a very big plank, and I am afraid that I've mended my barn roof. There won't be any left for you to mend with a wheelbarrow with. But of course, that is not my fault. And now, as I have given you with my wheelbarrow, I am sure you would like to give me some flour in return. Here is the basket, and mind you took it. You till it quite full. Quite full? As I have given you with my wheelbarrow, I don't think that it much to ask you for a few flowers. I may be wrong, but I should have thought that true friendship, was quite free from selfishness of any kind. My dear friend, my best friend, you are welcome to all the flowers in my garden. I would much sooner have your good opinion than my silver button any day. Goodbye, little Hans. Goodbye. Next, I pass to Hanani.
Dear little hands, will you mind carrying this set of flour for me to the market? Oh, I am so sorry, but I am really very busy today. I think that considering that I am going to give you my wheelbarrow, it's rather unfriendly of you to refuse. Oh, don't say that. I will be unfriendly for the whole world. It has certainly been a hard day, but I am glad that I did not refuse the miller, for he is my best friend, and besides, he is going to give me his wheelbarrow. Upon my word, you are very lazy, really considering that I am going to give you my wheelbarrow. I think you might work harder. Idleness is a great sin, and I just certainly don't like any of my friends to be idle or sluggish. You must try mind my speaking quite plainly to you. Of course, I should not dream of doing so if I were your friends. But what is the good of friendship if one cannot say exactly what one means? Anybody can say charming things and try to please and to flatter, but a true friend always say unpleasant things, and that's right, mind giving pain. Indeed, if he is really true friends, he prefers it, for he knows that he is doing good. I am very sorry, but I was so tired and that I thought I would lie in bed for a little time and listen to the birds singing. We know that I always work better after hear the birds singing, but I am glad for of that. I want you to come up off to the mill as soon as you dress and mend my bundle for me. Do you think it would be friendly of me if I said I was busy? I do not think it much to ask of you, considering that I am going to give you my wheelbarrow. But of course, if you refuse, I will go and do it myself. Oh no account. Have you mended the hole in the roof yet, little hands? It is quite mended. There is no work so delightful as the work one does for others. It is certainly a great privilege to hear you talk. At very great privilege, but I am afraid I should never have such beautiful ideas as you have. Oh, they will come to you, but you must think more pain. At present, you have only the practice of friendship. Someday you will have the joy also. Do you think I shall? I have no doubt of it. But now that you have made it on the roof, you had better go home and rest. For I want you to drive my ship to the mountain tomorrow. What a delightful time I shall have in my garden. But somehow he was never able to look after his flower at all, for his friend and the miller was always coming around and sending him off on a long errands. But he consoled himself by the reason that the miller was his best friend. So I pass to Iqmar.
Dear little Hans, I am in a great trouble. My little boy has fallen off a ladder and hurt himself, and I'm going for the doctor. But he lives so far away, and it is such a bad night that it has just occurred to me that it will be much better if you went instead of me. You know, I am going to give you my wheelbarrow, and so it is only fair that you should do something for me in return. Certainly, I take it quite as a compliment you coming to me, and I will start off at once. But you must lend me your lantern, as the night is so dark that I am afraid I might fall into the ditch. I am very sorry, but it is my new lantern and it would be great loss to me if anything happened to it. Well, never mind, I will do without it. Who is there? Little Hans, doctor? What do you want, Little Hans? The miller's son has fallen from a ladder and has hurt himself, and the miller wants you to come at once. All right, but the storm grew worse and worse, and the rain fell in torrents, and Little Hans couldn't quite see where he was going and keep up with the horse. At last, he lost his way and wandered off on the moor, which was a very dangerous place as it was full of big holes, and the poor little Hans was drowned. His body was found the next day by his goddads, floating in a great pool of water, and was brought back by them to the cottage. Everybody went to the little Hans' funeral. As I was his best friend, it is only fair that I should have the best place. Little Hans is certainly a great loss to everyone. A great loss to me at any rate, answered the miller. Why, I had as good as given him my wheelbarrow, and now I really don't know what to do with it. It is very much in my way at home, and it's such bad repair that I could not get anything for it, if I saw it. I will certainly take care not to give away anything again. One always suffers for being generous. So that's all. Thank you all. That's all for today. Thank you to Madam Nurin Albiani for your guide. See you guys on next video. Assalamualaikum and good evening.